Welcome back, everybody, to the daily show where we discuss and do technical analysis on big mega cap stocks. So, before we get started, please smash that like button, and 100 plus likes on this video would be greatly appreciated, guys. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Now, if you want to support the channel and get my daily trade ideas, my swing trade ideas, live trading, and all kinds of setups, definitely check out their link down below in the description for Patreon. And now let's get right into it, guys. Netflix is up 1.35%, and we talked about it last night that this thing can continue, and you can see continuation to the upside continuing, and once again another brand new all-time high. Now, this is not something I would go and chase anytime soon, not even playing this. We called it before when this thing was wedging right here that you can play this back up to 1000, and possibly over that you're going to see more continuation. So the move already done here on Netflix, and not gonna go and chase anything which is trading at all-time high. So here on Netflix, if there is a pullback now, watch out for the support at 1012 to 1013, and then flat 1000 down to even 13-day moving average 990. To the upside, we are trading into blue skies. So if we can take out 1033 here or 1032.85, in that case, you're going to see 1050. And look at this Bollinger Band still going. So if this thing wants to continue and market, actually stays up in next few days, we can see more continuation to the upside on Netflix. But like I said, this is not something I would recommend chasing at this level. On AMD, it's up near 3%. So beautiful move right here on AMD and finally closed over 110. So this thing, this could be the bottom here on AMD. No confirmation yet because we are still downtrending on AMD. And I think at some point you're going to see AMD coming back up and possibly testing this red line 50-day moving average, which is a negative slope. So here on AMD, as long as it's over 110, watch out for a bit more continuation up to 112, 5-day moving average, and maybe even gap fill right here at 115, 114. And then we can talk about more upside on AMD. Under 110, there will be support at 107.74, and then these lows will be tested at 106. On Amazon stock, it's up 1.74%, so nice rally back up to the upside and holding 230, and we did close over 233. So Amazon looks like we might be going up to close this gap at 236. That might be a possibility going into tomorrow's session, but if this thing does not hold at 233 and then takes out also 230, in that case, you're going to see a dump off down to 226, and from there, it can go much, much lower. On Google stock, it's up just over 0.5%. So Google ran up to almost 190 and came back and pretty much closing at 188. Now, Google is definitely not out of the woods yet. I mean, look at this bearish looking candle, and we only went halfway here on with today's candle and not even over this candle. So it's not bullish. And if this thing comes back, a lower Bollinger Band will be at the rescue, 186, and below that, previous resistance will act as a support, 184, and then this gap comes into play, 178. If we can continue to the upside on Google, we get some sort of a catalyst, then watch out for a move up to 191.50, and that's where I'm looking at where Google can actually make it back up to close some of that gap to the upside, or we find a strong resistance here at 191.50 and this thing comes back and possibly closes this gap down here at 178. On Apple stock is absolutely flat on the day and huge rejection at 230. You can see we got up to 230 and this thing pretty much fell on its face and now break even for the day. So here on Apple stock, if we can get over, and you can see a lot of resistance here, guys, 230. All these moving averages also came down and sitting just above 230. So if this thing can clear, I would say 230 and stays over that, then it's gonna look like it wants to move higher, possibly wants to retest 237. Until then, Apple here does not get a break over 230, then watch out for the next critical support will be down here. These lows down here around 226, 225, and then it can come down all the way down to 220. And there's that gap down here that can actually come into play right here at 216, 217. On Meta, also a flat day, but this one got up to 721, not a brand new all-time high, and it just like Netflix, just consolidating, not really giving up anything. And you can see 5-day moving average moved up, now sitting at 710, so it came down got a bounce off of that level and it's holding. So this is going to be your critical line in the sand, 710 to 711, where we got a rejection before, and also 5-day moving average sitting right there. So underneath that level, you might see a flush down to 700 and maybe even down to 682. As long as it's over 710 to 711, watch out for continuation back up to 725, possibly up to even 745. And this is where upper Bollinger Band is sitting right now. On Microsoft, it's up just over 0.5%. So this is looking pathetic right here on Microsoft. This thing cannot get over 413. You can see once again rejection got up to 4, almost 15, 16, but at the end came back and closed under 413. So forget about going back into this channel. We're not actually making a move up to even 420. So Microsoft under 413. You can see Bollinger Band coming down. We just need any catalyst, guys, and there's lots of them out there. Trump talking about more tariffs on more countries, and then there is a Middle East escalation where he made comments that he's gonna rebuild everything and then give it to everybody else, then people that are actually living there. And then on top of that, inflation coming back. We got Jay Powell speaking, and then we got CPI this week. So I mean, market is a massive mess right now. We could be up here, we could be down here. So volatility, it's gonna stay here for quite some time. So if you think that yes, we're just too bullish and we're just gonna continue to the upside, that's also wrong. And if we think we're going to just dump and it's gonna be a crash, that's also wrong. We're just here, and the volatility will be staying here for at least a couple of weeks until things actually settle down. So here on Microsoft, under 413, it can come down easily down to 400. Over 413, there is a chance we might see back up Microsoft here to 420, but as this moment it's not happening. On Tesla stock is down another 3%. So talking about lucky escape. Today was the day, guys. So Tesla, I got in right at opening when this thing opened, and it came down right here at 355. And then this thing pulled back. I got out immediately because it actually went back up. So we had chance to get out. And then I bought back in at 351. This thing rallied back up to close the gap here at 361, and that was my target. I got out with my profit, and then this thing took a U-turn after filling the gap fill reversal to the downside, and look at this. This thing is down to 347. So tomorrow this gap might get filled right here, 345. So Tesla is a mess right now. And forget about breaking out to the upside. It already broke down. We're not even retesting 375. And now these gaps can come into play. And we all know Tesla goes up, Tesla goes up. You don't want to short it. Tesla goes down, it's going to go down until it's really oversold, and then you're going to see a massive bounce. Now, Tesla, is it actually really oversold? It's getting there, guys. So I think I'm still gonna go and try to trade Tesla. Maybe tomorrow, depending on where things open. If this thing gaps up 2%, I'm not gonna chase it. But I think as long as we can hold right here where we got a lot of trading, that this thing was consolidating before that massive breakout, I think it's a good spot to be in for possibly a swing trade. So going into tomorrow's session, there will be support at 375, 330, and then this gap down here near 325. Resistance will be at 358, 362 over that 375 on Tesla. On Nvidia stock, it's up once again, and what I said before that, you can see Nvidia actually got over this high last week Friday, and now continuation up to almost 136. And I've been talking about it in my video that we actually bought the dip on Nvidia when this thing dipped, and we're just holding long. And today finally took some profit here on Nvidia stock, and it was really fantastic, taking profit because I bought a bunch of shares, and guess what? All are paying. Another one, Broadcom, that we bought even last week Friday. I bought the dip on that one, 235 calls, and that thing paid today when in the money, deep in the money, guys. So all these trade ideas, and I'm talking about only people that are actually serious about trading and they want to trade, they want to learn, they want to make money, they want to be an entrepreneur. Definitely, if you're somebody like that, who wants to do all that and not really window shopping and trying to make one trade and then go all in and make money or lose everything, that's not who I am actually looking for. Only people that are serious and they want to learn and they're really gonna stick with trading, definitely check out my link down below in the description for Patreon. With that being said, let's get back on Nvidia. Well, if this thing can clear 136, I still have some runners. This thing can move up to this gap right here, 142. To the downside, now 130 will be critical level. Below that, 126. And then we can talk about Nvidia coming back down. But the way this thing is going up, looks like this deep sea gap will get closed at some point. If not this week, maybe next week, unless we get some bad catalyst where market drops and this thing comes back another 10-15%.